Okay, hi there. Today I'm going to be covering chapter 1-1 of Algebra 2. This one's called Identifying a Pattern, and it's a lot of geometry in this section, which is probably good since many of you just took it. We're going to start out with some patterns, and I'm going to ask you, what does the next figure look like? All right, so I start out like this, and moving my way up here. Okay, so if you're looking at this, what is the next pattern? What's the pattern? What's the next number going to look like? If you sit there and take a moment and look at them, well, this one's got three sides. We call that a triangle. This has got four sides. That's called a square or a rectangle. Five sides is pentagon, and six sides is hexagon, heptagon. Anyway, so next one would be a seven-sided polygon, okay, which I'm definitely not as good at drawing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go, not bad. So that would be what your next figure would be, and after that would be an octagon, right? 8 sides. Number 2. You have to excuse my drawing here, definitely not perfect. All right, so what would the next one look like? Well, you can see that, the base figure here, it's got, you just keep adding more boxes onto the middle. So if I start with the middle here, and let's see, this one's got 1, 2, 3 going out each direction. That means this one's going to have 4 going out. 1, 2, 3, 4 in all directions. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's what my figure is going to be if I just keep extending that. So that would be the answer, and hopefully the teacher won't take off any points for sloppy drawing. All right, next, number 3. This one's a little bit more complicated. I kind of like this one better. 1, 2, 3. And the question says, how many toothpicks are in the 20th figure? Okay, so if you would like to sit there and draw that out, extend that pattern to 20 times, be my guest. I'm going to try to find an easier way. I'm going to start with this. If I use a table, this will be figure number. So like this would be my first figure over here, this would be my second figure, that would be my third. 1, 2, 3. And eventually I'd like that table to go all the way down to number 20. Over here I'm going to have the process column. And over here my third one will be the number of toothpicks. All right, so let's take a look at this for a moment. In the first one, how many toothpicks do I have in the first one? Well, I got 4, right? I can just count them over here. It's a square. Second one's got 2 squares or 2 rectangles, which means I've got 4 times 2 is 8. The third one would have 3 of them. You could sit there and count them if you wanted. That would be 12. So what'd you do to get them? Well, I took the figure number and I multiplied it by 4 because each one of these has 4 in them. So that's 2 times 4 gives me 8. 3 times 4 gives me 12. So pretty soon you can see what's going on here. And now if I jump down to the 20th column, I can go 20 times 4 would give me 80. And that is how many toothpicks there are. And I guarantee you that was going to be quicker than drawing it out. All right, so that's that pattern. Number 3, zoom in a little bit. The graph shows the total cost of platies, which is a kind of fish, at the aquarium shop. Okay, let me go over here for a minute. I'm going to draw a quick graph. This side is going to be the cost in dollars. Down here on the bottom, this will be the number of platies. Okay, and let me put some points on here, make it red so it can stick out. I forgot to mark these. 2, 4, 6. Okay, now let's do some questions. Number 1. Actually, I should make that A. Part A. How much do 6 platies cost? B. How much do 10 platies cost? Okay, so let's go back over here for the graph for a moment. If I'm looking at this and I wanted to extend the pattern, I didn't go out, this doesn't go all the way up to 6. It only goes to 4 here, huh? 1, 2. So, I mean, this looks like a linear kind of pattern. Oops, didn't want that to happen. It looks like a linear kind of pattern. So if I was to, make it up to there, you could probably figure out, how much it would cost for 6 platies. You can also look at this and say, geez, it cost, for 2 of them, it cost me $4, and for 1 of them, it cost me $2, which means it's, for each fish, it's $2, which means if I had 6 of them, that would bring me all the way up to 12 bucks. And similarly, if I had 10 of them, that would then cost me $20. So assuming that pattern continues, which is safe to assume, that would be your answers to number 3. All right, number 4. Getting to more numerical ones. What are the next 2 numbers in the pattern? Actually, those are going to be the directions for the next few. Maybe we'll just move this down a little bit. All right. And the numbers go like this: 4, 7, 11, 16, 22, 29. Blank, blank. All right, so take a moment, see if you can figure that out. um, maybe they jump out at you. Sometimes these do, sometimes they don't. Other times you might want to have a backup plan. What did you do? Well, one thing I do is I start looking at the numbers and I either start subtracting them or adding them or multiplying, dividing them. See what's going on with this set of numbers here. If I take 7 minus 4, I get 3, which means I'm adding 3. To get from 7 to 11, I add 4. To go from 11 to 16, I'm adding 5. Oh, this is starting to look like a pattern. Add 6, add 7. So then to get the next one, I'm going to add 8. And then after that, I would add 9. And 28 plus 9 would be 37. And if I add 9 to 37, I get 46. Those should be my next two numbers. We'll get more into patterns later on. This one's not arithmetic. But anyway, I'll save that for another day. Number 5. I feel like I messed up the numbers in here. Oh, I did 2 3s. Okay, that's why. All right. Anyway, I'm not changing it now. Number 5. See if you can get this one. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, blank, blank. Here we go. See if you can figure that one out. This is an interesting one. You can sit here and go like, that's plus 1, that's plus 2, that's plus 2, that's plus 4, that's plus 2, that's plus 4, that's plus 2. Good luck with that one. You can sit there for a long time, and people have spent years on this one. This is actually the set of prime numbers. And a prime number is a number that can't be, the only way to multiply to it is 1 times itself. And this is actually probably the biggest mystery in mathematics, is what's the pattern between those? Because these are like the building blocks of all the other numbers. So anyway, if you can figure that out, I promise you fame and fortune. And if you ask me more about it in class, I'll tell you some stories about prime numbers. All right, so that's that. Number 6. Let's see, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36. What's the next number in that pattern? Well, there's a couple ways you could have gotten this one. There's 2 ways that I know of. There might even be more. The first is you could start subtracting them. If I subtract 4 from 1, 1 from 4, I get 3. And 9 minus 5, 9 minus 4 is 5. 16 minus 9 is 7. This is starting to look like a pattern. So you could do it that way and find out the next 2 numbers. These are also perfect squares. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 4 is 16. Perfect squares are 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100, 121, 144, 169, 196, 225, going up to 15 times 15. And so the next 2 are 49 and 64. And that would be that answer. Anyway, you could use either one of those 2 types of ways to solve it. Occasionally you'll see one of these. What number am I on now that I'm off? 7. And those can kind of drive you nuts sometimes. Either you see them or you don't. Kids, it's a funny thing to watch people, students, teenagers trying to solve these because they jump out at you or they don't. And some kid will be like, I can't figure it out. It's killing me. Somebody could be like, duh, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, which means the next two will be Saturday, Sunday. And if I did this one, that one could kill you for a while too. It's the first letter of certain words. I'll give you that. Maybe I'll have that one be a you try. And you can try to figure that one out. And I won't leave you all in suspense. Sometimes I do that where I'll make you come to class with the answer. This one would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which means the next one's 6 and 7 will be your next two letters in that. Okay? All right. That is about all I got right now for this section. Nice easy section to start out with. I'm going to close it out with a little more music, and I'll see y'all soon.